the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Turn 3 Racing Network. As tonight we are here for the Bumpy Road 250. This is the final race in the round of 8. 4 drivers will be our championship contenders in next week's race. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is KR Stolfus, and qualifying is underway here. Tyler Miller in the 24C, one of our championship contenders, already out on the speedway. But before I go too much further into this, I do have to introduce, in the booth with me here tonight is my compatriot, fellow iRacer, none other than Al. Hey, does my mic sound funny, Smith?
Well, does it sound funny tonight, KR?
That sounds funny every night, Al. I can't tell if it's the mic or you.
Well, that's without saying, but glad to be here in sunny Daytona for what is going to be the last chance to make your way into the Final Four, which will take place 1 week from tonight, right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And I wouldn't want to be sharing it with anybody but you, KR. I'm glad to be here.
Well, that's very kind of you. Sebastian Marin picked up the win last week, so he is our first of 4 championship contenders. So he is out here qualifying right now, and that's not slowing him down any, as he just put up the fastest time of the session at a 50.64. His teammate Kevin Freese making his way down the back stretch. And Al, I don't know about you, but this race is going to be kind of a important one for at least 3 other drivers.
Yeah, you're going to have to either win here tonight if you are some of the other championship contenders like Miller, deBorja, Milam, Maier, Elliott, just to name a few that are going to try to run their way in here tonight to the championship. For we do know Travis Elliott is going to need a win here tonight after missing. Did he miss last week, or did he end up showing up? I forgot.
I believe he did miss.
Yeah, so yeah, it's been one of those days. But yeah, so you got some of these drivers that are in a must-need to win situation. Maybe they can point their way in if they have, some good stages here tonight. And we know that's important. We do know that there's 3 available spots. In those 3 spots, who will be? Well, no one knows. That's why we got to run here tonight, the 250 miles at Daytona. And what is going to be a challenging race for them. Track a little bit hot and a little bit greasy. And this is the Legacy Daytona racetrack. So a little bit of, well, we'll call them whoop-de-doos out there for these cars that'll bounce them around and cause some serious trouble for our chase contenders.
It can. Daniel Holloway, Logan Helton, Jeremy Funk, Rick Siebrands, Les Levy, all on track for qualifying right now. So far, we have had 18 drivers post a qualifying time as Daniel Holloway makes his way across the start-finish line, and that is going to be his beginning of his first and only time lap. So Holloway up to speed, but Logan Helton in the 63 crossing the start-finish line, and he is going to move up into 4th place. So your championship contender, Logan Helton, inside the top 5 for the moment.
And we know we've seen this season, KR, how important it is to have a good starting position here at Daytona. Clean air is king, obviously, but you want to be up towards the front of this one to stay out of trouble. But trouble can find you any chance you can. Yeah, how about coming to the line to get his started? Well, Daniel Holloway in that Reese's car. He's going to be coming across the straight, put his time in. Then I believe Bob Lacavera is on the clock currently as well. Holloway will clock in 17th, quick out of the 22 cars that have taken time.
Bob Lacavera is out on track in that number 5. He is on the clock. Rick Siebrands in the 4, also trying to log in his best lap time. So as Lacavera makes his way down and around, we're going to talk a lot about it, but just 2 races left in this season, and you have to get through this one, and it starts right here in qualifying. What I mean by that is, if you qualify in the middle of the pack, you're going to get run over by people when they can't check up the same as you. You're going to get caught up in the incident that's happening in front of you. Then if you qualify in the front, you got everybody behind you. If you qualify in the back, you have a shot and at least seeing the accident coming.
So what you're saying is there's no good spot at Daytona.
There's nobody safe.
Nobody. Hey, Alex Green is out on the racetrack with that Advanced Auto Parts number 3. Alex Green out of Roanoke, Virginia.
It's over by your side of the woods.
Yeah, it's on the eastern seaboard. You are correct.
That's over them there hills.
Yeah, I believe that's about, let's call it 6 hours from me.
Oh, yeah?
But it's closer than you.
A lot closer. I think 6, if I headed east for 6 hours, I'd still only be in Indiana.
That's not a bad state. I like
that.
Indiana. Been there.
Yeah, but to get there, I gotta drive through Illinois.
Oh, yeah, well, you could stop and see our good friend Brian Hacker. He lives in Illinois.
And I could. Well, it looks like qualifying done and over with 25 drivers putting their time in. Gabe Butler, Andy Regante, and Ernie Williams Jr. all electing not to qualify. And so as we get down into the final 2 minutes, we want to take a moment and give everyone a shout out in YouTube chat. Thank you very much for joining us. Miss Kathy, Miss Mara, glad to see y'all. Hope you guys stick around. Hope the race is as entertaining as always. And of course, old Mr. Fritchie chiming in as well. So guys, we are going to step away for our national anthem, and then we will be right back with our starting lineup for tonight's Bumpy Road 250, as it is the final race in the round of 8.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Turn 3 Racing Network, as we are here for the OP Racing Premier Series to get ready to kick off this race. And that means our drivers are taking to the grid, so let's go ahead and get right into tonight's starting lineup. On the inside of row number 1, setting your quick time here tonight at a 50.643 from Buttkicker Racing. That is Sebastian Marin on another pole. He really enjoys the pole. Sean Stevens on his outside from Buck Wild Racing will complete row number 1. Row number 2 made up of the 24 of Tyler Miller from Flat Out Motorsports and Logan Helton in the 63 on himself sitting outside row 2. Row number 3, Peter deBorja in the 40 and Josh Milam in the 7. Row number 4 going to be made up of the 19 of Zach Workman and the 04 of Mark Mann. Row 5 will be Jim Maier in the 95 and Seth Groover in the 02 from Groover House Racing, finding himself outside row number 5.
Row number 6 going to see the Dark Knight Jimmy Reynolds in the Fuel Sim Racing number 17. Rolling off 11th outside of him out of Buttkicker. This is the JD Crow entry, number 2. Kevin Freese, also from Buttkicker, will start on the inside of row number 7, and outside of him, Flat Out Motorsports, Travis Elliott, car number 51. Patrick Gruber from Gruber House Racing will roll off 15th, and outside of him, driver that's going to be out of the Flat Out Motorsports, number 12, this is Zach Fritz. Daniel Holloway will make up the inside of row number 9 with his Alliance Motorsports number 21. Camino Racing's 071 of Eric Loring. Rick Siebrands and Les Levy from Alliance and Checkered Flag Motorsports, respectfully, will round out your top 10 rows.
Bob Lacavera in the 5 and Jeremy Funk in the 97, row number 11. Row 12 will be the 6 of Dustin Barber, and then to his outside, well, that is none other than the 46 of David Overstreet. Row number 13, Alex Green in the 3, Gabe Butler in the 88, and our final starting row here tonight, the 91 of Ernie Williams Jr., who has missed the call to the grid, and the 13 of Andy Regante. This is race number 17 of 18. Let's go ahead and also take a look at some more of our race info here tonight. There were 2 races in the round of 8. This is the final race. Marin makes it in to the next round. He's our first and only driver punching his ticket into the championship 4. And here tonight, I believe you've got to leave it out, all out on the track. Of course, there is only one fast repair available, but here we go. Green flag is out, and we are underway for the first time here tonight. Sebastian Marin gets a good jump on the 27 of Sean Stevens as they head off into turn number 1 here on this bumpy Daytona track. 250 miles coming your way as they are now all side by side trying to get up to speed.
They get up through turns 1 and 2. Stevens working the outside. He's got Logan Helton giving him a good push. Down on the inside, it's Sebastian Marin and the 24 of Miller. Miller down there trying to get there. Stevens drops down in front of Sebastian Marin as they enter turn number 3. Everybody get up the full song as they head into turn 4.
Side by side, this field is stacked up, and they will probably stay that way for a majority of this race tonight. But at the line to lead the first lap, that is the 63 of Logan Helton, and he is going to be on a tear here tonight.
They are working it through here. Josh Milam very aggressive on the pushing there as he tries to work the outside. Mark Mann working there as well, that 04. Those are your top 3 cars in the outside lane. Then you have Stevens, Marin, and the 24 of Miller as they work down the back stretch here on lap number 2. As they work here in the corner, almost contact though. The 02 of Gruber really almost got to the right rear quarter panel of that 24 as these cars, well, they're still handling pretty good, but you're going to see them start to move around here. The sun is poking out behind the clouds. That's only going to heat up the asphalt here at the Daytona International Speedway, and Stevens will lead lap number 2.
Once this asphalt gets nice and heated up, they're going to start slipping and sliding. And, well, this is the bumpy track, and they tend to try and give each other a lot more room when this track is where they're finding themselves racing at. And you do have to give a lot more room because these cars are going to move around all over the place. Let's go ahead and go on board with the 7 of Josh Milam as he is heading off into the corner. You can see just how much they are fighting those wheels.
These cars out of control here, these drivers. Well, they're the best in the business here on the Superspeedway platform. That's why they are here, where you definitely see the hand movements on that inboard camera. They were busy beavers behind the wheel.
So Logan Helton in the 63, your race leader. Now we come here quite often. Our Super Speedway rotation is iRacing Super Speedway, Talladega, Daytona, and the Legacy Daytona. Every time we come to the Daytona tracks, they are broke up the same way, where it is 100 laps. Stage 1 ends at the completion of lap 25, and you can expect about 18 laps of fuel. And so that means that before too much longer, we'll see them coming down pit road all the way up until those fuel tanks are dry. So a whole lot of different strategies going to start being played out tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I suspect we might see some people hit pit road, maybe around the lap, maybe 9, 10, kind of get into that window to make it to the end of it. But if you're up front, I don't know how early you're going to want to pit. It's all about track position. As that time Miller stepped out, deBorja had to jump on the binders. A little bit of separation there, and here comes the Hall of Famer, Jim Maier, working the outside of the speedway. He takes a peek to the outside of Yoshi. Good to see Gruber back out on the field here tonight. Seth and Patrick out into the field. Glad to see them both here, racing with us here on Monday nights.
Going on board with the 4 of Rick Siebrands. He is behind his teammate, the 21 of Daniel Holloway. Where he finds himself mired deep in the field. Right now, one of our biggest movers of this race, that is the 3 of Alex Green. He has moved his way forward almost 10 positions. And he sits in that outside lane. So Alex Green started, I believe he was the last car to set a qualifying time. So he has made his way forward very quickly. Ernie Williams, for the fans of the 91, he has gotten out on the track. He is motoring around. He is not a lap down yet, but he is all by himself. So he could end up losing the lap here very quickly as the field is making its way onto the backstretch now, just as he sailed it off into turn number 3.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting when the field catches him, how they maneuver around him, or if Ernie, being the veteran driver that he is, will get out of the way early on in this one. Not that big of a deal to go down 1 lap, but you don't want to cause an incident. I think if you're the driver of that 91, and I don't suspect that we won't see that as they start to work around here. How about Kevin Friesen at 25? He's making his way towards the front. Is Mark Van, Fries, and Gruber, your top 3 cars on the outside lane. Josh Milam has taken the race lead. He has dropped it down to the basement level. He works there in front of Logan Helton, keeping that green spoiler behind him. You see a green spoiler on the race car. That means that is a chase contender. They've all started to move towards the front. We have 7 of our 8 chase contenders inside the top 15.
As we work lap 8 of 100, the inside line got very long, and Al, on the pit road come quite a few drivers. Top 15 stay out. Here come J.D. Crow, Gabe Butler, and Jeremy Funk as well. They are all on the pit road, so a big group of drivers on the pit road. That is giving the race lead to the 7 of Josh Milam.
You okay over there on that side of the booth?
Let's not worry about that.
All right. They're all down pit road. We'll see if there's any penalties as they were on pit road. Everybody looks like to be out. Looks like Bob Lacavera, a little bit of an extended stay on pit road, so maybe caught speeding for the number 5. Now, Josh Milam, Logan Helton, the rest of the field starts to peel off, leaving just 6 cars on the racetrack. Everybody trying to get down there. A lot of tire smoke cover the pit road, but your new race leader is the 02 of Seth Gruber.
So Gruber out in up front, and that Yoshi Nintendo machine. Batman right behind him. Kevin Freese directly behind him as well. So when these guys will hit pit road, they will complete the cycle of drivers to make pit stops. And our first round of green flag pit stops will be done and over with.
Should be the only time we see him on pit road until the stage 1 break, as they all make the hard left-hand turn. And Stevens not getting the memo. He's going to stay on the racetrack all by a lonesome. See if that's a costly mistake for the driver of that number 27.
Stevens does stay out. Jeremy Funk is there with him. Jeremy, last car on the lead lap. Ernie Williams has gone a lap down, but he has made his pit stop. One driver who has been sitting on pit road for quite a while, that is the 5 of Bob Lacavera.
Yeah, not sure what's going on. Hopefully everything is okay, as now Andy Briganti comes in. Kevin Freese and Patrick Gruber coming back in. Have to assume to serve some sort of penalty there in pit road. Once again, Kevin Freese as well. Andy Briganti and JD Crow rolling down pit road. So just assuming, KR, that maybe something went awry on their pit stops for the 25. He is down and away. 0-1 down and away. So I assume that's the speeding penalty on the pit road.
That is how that shaped up to look like, yes.
Listen, I'm not a doctor, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn.
Oh, you are sharp then.
Yep. And not well rested.
That can happen. So, first round of green flag pit stops almost complete. Sean Stevens in the 27 has not come down pit road yet. He is still out on the speedway. That'll give us 22 cars on the lead lap. Kevin Freese in the 25. He is the first car 1 lap down, so should a caution come out between now and then, looks like he would get the free pass, and Sean Stevens would end up putting multiple drivers off the pace.
You know, to see how that shakes out. Is the pack, though, really fighting it out back here. Josh Milam down low. He's got the 63 of Logan Helton getting a good push from the 95 of Jim Maier. They all work here as they close up on the backside of the 0-1 of Patrick Gruber. This pack quickly drawing to that 0-1 as they work off for turn number 2. And they are going to go 3 wide down the backstretch, and sometimes, well, that doesn't really work out, but everybody makes it through. Always makes your heart skip a beat for a moment when they go 3 wide here at Daytona.
So Logan Helton, Josh Milam battling to be the first driver to take over the race lead when Sean Stevens comes down pit road. Right now, Logan Helton in the 63, just ahead of Jim Maier, his teammate, in the 95. So both Jim and Logan, even though they are both driving for Alliance Motorsports, neither one is locked in to our Championship 4. So let's go ahead and take a quick look and see how things look as they came into this race here tonight. Sebastian Marin already in with that race win. Rick Siebrands had a solid finish, but right now he is 19 points above the cutoff line. Peter deBorja 10, Josh Milam 8. Logan, Helton, Miller, Maier, and Elliott all in danger of being eliminated. So the 63 going to be driving very hard. The 95 driving just as hard. They have a lot to get through before this race is over.
And that could all change depending on how the stages work out, how many points that they get. Obviously, we don't have those in live time, but we can try to do our best to do the quick math on that. As Peter deBorja gets pushed out in front of the 7 of Josh Milam with the 12 of Fritz giving a tow. As they work down here into turns 3 and 4. Logan Helton now has some clean air out the front of that Chevy Camaro as they come off the turn number 4.
John Stevens still has not come down pit road. He is running with the 97 of Jeremy Funk. He is giving up quite a bit of time to this pack because last time around he turned a 48.7. Logan Helton turned a 47.6. So that is definitely some speed being given up by the 27, but he does at least have Jeremy Funk to work with. So those two combined are going faster than they would by themselves.
Yeah, and I don't hate the play call, especially with how aggressive this second pack, which eventually should become your lead pack. They are big. They are swapping back and forth, trying to figure out who is going to do what as they come off the turn number 4. They're closing in on the 2 of JD Crow. Crow is down 2 laps to your race leader, Stevens. As he will bow out of the way of this pack as they flash by him. So not the start of the night that JD Crow wanted. We do have to report, it looks like Bob Lacavera has pulled the 5 behind the wall. So something's gone awry on that number 2 here tonight, KR.
Yeah,
very, 5, excuse me.
Very early exit for the number 5. And unfortunately for Bob Lacavera, he's going to have to, well, try again next week because he has gone behind the wall and totally checked out on this race. Sean Stevens finding himself pulling into his pit stall. He is finally going to hit pit road, and the field is going to very quickly pass him by as there they go through the tribal. He is down and away. They are going to fly by at full song, and here you can see just how much time he had given up trying to catch that caution.
Yeah, and that really did not work too far out. JD Crow down on pit road once again into number 2. So we'll see what happens here as the race lead is starting to heat up here with just 8 laps left to go in the opening stage, chasing it down to lap 25. deBorja with a great push from the 7 of Milam. He'll get the race lead with that extra life number 40 Chevy Camaro off the corner. But Logan, the kid Helton, he's got the foot through the floorboard. It is almost in the carburetor. He'll lead that lap here with just now 7 laps to go here in stage number 1.
So the laps winding down in this stage. Peter deBorja, Josh Milam, Logan Helton, Jim Maier, Zach Fritch, all in the top 5. That 12 machine, well, he had a good race, a good thing going for a while, and finds himself outside of the competition for the championship 4. Do want to point out one driver that is not out here tonight that we like to talk about. Ended up winning the championship series for the Grand Nationals this last Wednesday, and that was none other than Jeffrey Crosby Jr.
I'm sad that he's not out there. I was going to guess that he was going to be in a blue car this week.
Well, he won it with the red one, so.
It's a looking car.
Is that.
You know what they say here?
They say a lot of things.
Yes, they say that red is a fast color.
It does make me feel like I'm going faster.
It also gets you pulled over statistically.
That's usually because you're going faster.
Yes. Chevys go that fast?
I don't know, but it's still faster than a Ford.
Oh, I knew that one was coming.
It can happen.
Yep. Hey, how about the race up front, though? It is Peter deBorja down low. He's got some good help with the 4 horsepower underneath the hood of that 7 from Fuel Sim Racing's of Josh Milam. The 63 of Helton. He's got some ponies underneath the hood of that Chevy Camaro. Well, half a car length of damage in the turn number 3 here. These guys really put it on there. If you're inside the top 10 right now, you're Travis Elliott, you are 35 points out. How aggressive are you going to be here in these next 4 laps, trying to get up there as much as possible? We pretty much know, barring the catastrophe, that Elliott needs to win this thing. He is the 9th inning, bottom, 2 outs, bases are loaded, and you need that home run to win.
Yeah, for sure, you're going to have to dig deep, dig hard, and do all you can to try and win this race, because 35 points is quite a bit to overcome when there are 28 cars in this field. And then one fast repair, so even if there are a couple dust-ups, almost everyone in this race will come across the start-finish line.
Katie Crow right in front of the race leaders. He will jump out of the way here. That was close. Now Crow coming back to pit road. Nothing awry on the J Concepts number 2 here tonight. Just starting lap 23 next time by. It'll be 2 laps to go to the end stage number 1. And these bonus points are gonna be huge. Helton on the outside looking in. Can he make it here? That's gonna be a lot of points made up. If he can hold on to pick up the win. Peter deBorja also would love nothing other than to pick up the stage 1 win. You do know that the points are going to be tight on who makes it and who does not here tonight.
Yeah, we won't know who our official championship 4 are, but we'll take our best guess at it, and quite a bit we get it wrong. Kind of like how we do our quick math.
Yep, it happens. Well, I can tell you this, it's 10. Oh, hang on to it, 3 wide, 2 turns.
Oh, Milam gets turned.
Milam's gonna go around. Multiple chase contenders involved. Yellow flag gonna come out, which I believe will be the end of this stage here, but big trouble for some stage runners is the 7 of Josh Milam. Looked like a little bit of phantom net code there. They were 3 wide, causing him to go around.
He is going to collect quite a few other championship contenders. Jim Maier involved. The 7 goes around. The 91, 95. Daniel Holloway in the 21 looking like he got up into this just a little bit. We'll go off the nose of the 21. Daniel Holloway can't quite pick a lane as his teammate spins continuously in front of him. But man, after all of that, it looks like minimal contact for all of the field. And so now we're going to have to wait for pit road
to see.
And in YouTube chat, we have none other than the illustrious Liberty Fires. How you doing, Mr. Fires? Thank you very much for chiming in, checking in, all that in stuff. Thank you for coming on by.
I am, well, I got the notepad open, KR. I'm trying to do the quick math. And being a little bit ambitious here tonight. So we're gonna see how the points are looking, possibly here, based off of what I just, saw. They come down pit road, and Peter deBorja is your stage 1 winner. It looks like, as he leads everybody down pit road.
And that is confirmed by race control. So Peter deBorja, your stage 1 winner. Now the next round begins. You have to win this race off of pit road. Down and away goes Logan Helton in the 63. Peter deBorja right on his back bumper. to Logan Helton with an outstanding pit stop once again. But let's go ahead and fire this up and see if we can't talk to our stage 1 winner from Maier Racing. That is none other than the 40 of Peter deBorja. Peter, congratulations on stage 1.
Hey, thanks, man. It's I would have been elated if you'd told me before the race you're gonna get 10 stage points. Getting them all done in the first stage is pretty awesome. Still have a car, unlike a lot of the competitors there. Just got really lucky to be in the right place at the right time.
Well, man, nice job. That 40 looking very fast. You were battling there with Logan Helton in the 63, and both of you were able to escape the chaos that was just a few inches behind you.
Yeah, I mean, I knew we were going to clear there. I got the draft of the lap car in front of me, and I was like, I didn't know if Josh was going to clear too, but I figured if he did, he was going to come up. And I saw Fritchie was behind him, and Workman was behind Zach, so I knew I had some people there if I needed it. And yeah, he made that move up there, and I could see Logan in the mirror just not having any of it. I was like, oh my gosh, because I mean, I could have moved up a couple of times, and this track, the high line typically is faster, but man, that 7 car was such a great pusher, and it sucks that he wasn't able to get a finish that he deserved for all the work he was putting in.
Well, Peter, stage number 2 getting ready to fire off. This 40 has some bonus points to play with. What's your plan going forward?
Acquire points and save race cars. I've got a great team behind me tonight that's really focused on that goal being all we got here with the 88, 071, and 19 behind me. I don't want to let them down, so I'm not going to go crazy. I just want to make sure I have 2 cars at the end of this race and hopefully acquire a bunch of stage points to give me the biggest cushion possible.
All right, man. Well, nice job on stage 1. Any other shout-outs, thank yous you'd like to give?
You guys in the booth, admins for putting this great race on, everyone who's out there watching on YouTube, and yeah, Extra Life Foundation here. We just reached a new goal in June there, so really excited to unlock that next incentive and get ready for the marathon a few months from now.
All right, well, there you go, and I hope to be a part of that marathon. Your stage 1 winner, Peter deBorja from Maier Racing, getting it done here very early, Al.
Very early. That's gonna put him up there pretty good there, KR. Doing my quick math here. Gonna put him. Basing everything off of Rick Siebrands. How's that sound?
Okay. Well, the pace car is on the front stretch and is going to head for pit road. And we're going to let them loose once again. Logan Helton and Peter deBorja on the throttle, and the green flag is back out. Away we go once again. Stage number 2 on the way. This one going to end at the completion of lap 50, and the 63 picking up pretty darn close to where he left off, grabbing himself that early race lead.
It says he gets up the speed unofficially by my math skills. Whether you want to admit that they're good or not, that's up to you. It looks like that Logan Helton is going to be 1 point in over Josh Milam after that end of stage number 1. All unofficial, of course, pending review. But Logan Helton up at the front of this one right now, that would be a automatic ticket to the next round. They cross the stripe. They are 3 wide through the tri-oval. You don't get to say that too often, as that's the 0-2 of Patrick or Seth Gruber working outside, trying to get around the 19 of Zach Workman.
Almost getting into the wall as he worked up in that upper lanes. Settles it back down, but now the 0-2 is going to use the 3rd lane all by himself with a big run. Slides in front of the 17. And then gets tucked in behind the 23 of Sebastian Marin.
Marin going to get to the outside, that inside line a little bit more formed up here. They work to the outside here down the front stretch. Now Logan Helton going to switch lanes to the outside. They'll make a move around the 40 of deBorja. Jack Fritz still right glued to the back bumper to extra life number 40. They work down the back stretch here once again, working lap number 30. Or 29, put 30 into the books. Yes, they're working lap 30.
Something like that. Yeah, who knows? We'll do quick math like we do quick laps. Well, I'm not 6.
We're on something.
Yeah, that's for sure. Oh my!
Is this officially gone off the rails? Okay, not yet. Okay.
At least not as far as my level of off the rails. Maybe for you.
Maybe.
But things have gotten much worse in the other situations with this broadcast.
Yoshi's on his way to the front.
There's Seth getting it done. Now he's leading that second lane. Logan Helton still out in front. Sebastian Marin pushing on him, and that 63 so far has led the most laps here tonight.
That he has, and looking to do what he needs to do. Right now, unofficially, I have him sitting 4th by 1 point over Josh Milam in that number 7. Milam, not sure, I was not paying attention under pits or whatever, during the pit stops, if he jumped into a car, if the crew worked on that number 7. He had, it looked like some extensive damage after that wreck.
Riding on board with the 071 of Eric Glory. He's tucked in behind the 62 of Les Levy. They are down on the bottom lane. Alex Green just ahead of them. So Eric Glory giving us a good ride along, and check in on the driver in the 24. That is Tyler Miller. He finds himself working his way backwards from where he qualified. The 24 right now inside the top 10, qualified in, I believe, row number 2.
You would be correct. And here it's our first takers of pit road. Over half the field coming down pit road. We saw this from stage number 1. Seemed to work out pretty okay.
Well, now the 02 firmly has the lead with the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds on his back bumper. Race off of pit road. Going to be won by the 01 of Patrick. But Patrick not on the lead lap.
So he is down 1 lap along with Ernie Williams. JD Crow down 2. They circle around the 2.5 mile speedway, and now your race leader is coming off of pit road, or coming down pit road, excuse me. And oh, there goes the cone. Someone got the cone. We'll see a penalty.
Your new leader is the 46 of David Overstreet. Finds himself out front. John Stevens and Jeremy Funk running 2nd and 3rd. Stevens right there behind the 91 of Ernie Williams Jr. And Ernie been trying to get back on the lead lap. And now you see the 46 moves up and out of the way. John Stevens going to squirt on by as well. And now Jeremy Funk allows the 46 to slide in. So 1, 2, and 3 all right there with a mix of JD Crow, who is multiple laps down, and Ernie Williams, who is the last car on the lead lap.
That they are. Yeah, right now with JD Crow being in front of this race leader pack, KR, he's only going to be 1 lap in the arrears. So it's a matter of if he can catch a yellow when he has to go pit or whatever. Jimmy Reynolds, though, coming back on the racetrack, he has lost the lap. Not sure what happened. Is now the yellow flag comes out. Not sure where the yellow flag is.
0-1 of Patrick Gruber. Looks like a spin coming off of turn number 4.
Sebastian Marin is heavy front ending.
Let's go ahead and back this up and see what happens. They're making their way off before the 12 of Zach Fritsch goes for a big spin. Sebastian Marin T-bones the 95 of Jim Maier. We'll take another look. Here is the 12 and the 23 make contact off of turn 4. The big trouble for the 95. A championship contender. Sebastian Marin already had his ticket punched into the championship 4. So now, that's really going to be coming in handy that he has those points already, or shouldn't say points, but already has that win and himself into that championship 4.
Yeah, and this really changes the game for those drivers that had not come down pit road before. They're going to get mired back behind all these drivers that have come down pit road, KR. So strategy kind of backfiring per se on those drivers. But it did put JD Crow and Ernie Williams just 1 lap down, it looks like. It looks like Williams has taken the 91 behind the pit wall, though.
Not sure what has happened to the 91 of Ernie Williams. Sean Stevens gives up the race lead to hit pit road. So now all the other drivers who had made their pit stops, including Logan Helton in the 63, stay out on the track. Logan Helton once again back to the race lead.
Just when we thought we've seen it all.
Yeah. Not yet, though. Soon.
Soon?
We'll see it all soon.
I like it. Sebastian Marin, heavy front end damage to the 23 car, saving that fast repair. What's your feelings on that? Smart move?
Absolutely. He's got nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose. Is it out there? See what happens. Jim Maier down 1 lap. So we got 4 drivers to be vying for that Lucky Dog Award. And 2 of those being our championship hopefuls. Well, Marin's already locked in, so he knows he'll race for a championship in 1 week's time. But the Hall of Famer Jim Maier taking a huge hit to the championship standings. That was a hard hit for me.
Yes, it was right into the side, too.
Thank God for the Hans device.
Hey.
And all that extra foam padding they got.
The Hans device has done quite a lot for several drivers.
Lights are out on the Ford Mustang pace car. That means in 2.5 miles or less, we'll be back green flag racing with just over 10 laps remaining here in stage number 2. We are slowed by just our second caution, the first caution of the race, not due to stage break. I guess both of them were wrecks, weren't they, KR?
Stage 1 did end under caution as we were on lap, I think the final lap for that
and
stage.
Josh Milam went around. Finds himself back inside the top 5 then. top 10, I mean, sitting 6.
Lights are out on that pace car, Al.
Wow. You were nice about it tonight.
It's out in front, so I guess it's doing something.
Travis Elliott gonna restart on the inside of row number 3. Remember, he's in a must-win situation here tonight. He wants to run for that championship next week. And next week, KR, we don't have to talk about points.
We do not.
Heads up racing as the Pacers car makes the hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Green flag is up and we are back underway in the penultimate race of the season, and it is Logan Helton showing the way over the 40 of deBorja. Siebrands, Miller, Elliott, your top 5 as they hit high gear in the turn number 1.
Making their way through the corner, the 4 of Rick Siebrands pushing on his teammate. They are trying to outrun the 40 of Peter deBorja. deBorja already had that stage win. Tyler Miller in the 24 pushing on his back bumper. Miller looking for a win in that 24 to try and get himself into the championship contention next week at the smooth Daytona Superspeedway.
Yes, they will as they work down here on the front stretch. Through the triangle, Logan Helton down low. deBorja up high. How about Siebrands? He sits there in spot number 2. Josh Milam back there on the outside line. Seth Gruber. Brother Patrick back on, well, I was going to say back on the lead lap, but that would have been a fib. I don't want to lie to you tonight, yeah. Not tonight.
Not tonight? Oh, okay. We don't have to tonight.
All right. That is the race within the race here. They work down here in the turn number 3. It is still Helton showing away. As now Gruber moves up to the outside lane in front of Stevens. That opens the inside lane for Lori. Lori trying to make a move to the inside here. That John Deere 071. Squadron. How about Andy Briganti? He's quietly making his way towards the front. One of our big movers of the race. Up 18 positions currently. He rides in that 10th position.
Yeah, he is tucked in behind the 071 of Eric Glory as they make their way onto the backstretch. Zach Workman in the 19 just ahead of that in that outside lane. And drivers really now are getting close to the end of stage 2, so you've got to start making your move. The further back you are, the sooner you have to make your move.
Right now, what are these drivers thinking? Oh, hang on to it, Lori. He got a little bit cattywampus down there through the tri-oval. Able to hold on to it. That was a pucker faction moment. Right now, if you are these drivers up front, you see Josh Milam trying to get to the backside of the 24 of Miller. And they are starting to really get racy here. They know some points were lost in that opening stage. Milam went from running inside the top 5 to 0 points at all. And finds himself unofficially, by my quick math, 1 point out of making the championship 4.
Riding on board with Logan Helton. The kid finding himself out in front. Rick Siebrands in the 4. Pushing on that back bumper, working lap 44 of 100 now. Peter deBorja making a move up on that inside lane. As the 63 and the 4 stayed committed to the outside. It's been a while since we've seen anyone do that here at the Bumpy Daytona.
Hey, usually you want to be right down on that yellow line. Must be they feel with the slippery conditions and the heat of track here tonight. Maybe the outside line is the place to be. They work here in the turn number 3. One car way up the racetrack. That was the 02 of Gruber. But he is hanging it high, wide, and handsome as this time by. It'll be 6 laps to go. Hang on to a Holloway. Holloway almost gets into Les Levy. They worked here through the tri-oval. That car was almost 45 degrees sideways. Somehow holds on to it as they all try to get into position to score those points. Right now, KR, you have just over 6 laps to go. You have to get in line. You have to get in with someone that you feel can get you to the front, maybe get a few more positions. What are you doing behind the wheel?
And right now behind the wheel, I'm probably sweating bullets, especially if I'm below the cutoff line and I'm outside the top 10, because I don't know if you've seen this, but all of our championship contenders that are on the lead lap are inside the top 10. Jim Maier in 23rd, first car 1 lap down, and then Sebastian Marin, who really has got this throwaway race here, finding himself in 26th spot. Outside of that, all of our championship contenders inside the top 10. Josh Milam in the 7, trying to make it up through the middle as we're going to go 3 wide here with Milam and Alex Green.
Yeah, Green is right there behind the 7 of Milam. Milam trying to get back to the front as Holloway slips on by, and now Seth Gruber makes some contact with the 25 of Freeze. All eyes are up front though as these cars starting to dance around. The Goodyear Racing Eagle tires starting to give away. The cars are getting later on fuel. That only means they get to dance a little bit more as they work here. As Josh Milam went from running 5th to 12th now in a matter of 2 laps. Gaining a rebound here to score some much needed points as Logan Helton still works the outside with Siebrands and Elliott down low. It is the 40 of deBorja. He's got Lori and Workman right behind him with Andy Brigante. Brigante doing a good job here tonight, running inside the top 10. Oh boy, hang on to it. They are starting to dance around up and down these bumps. Will we make it to lap 50?
And I'll tell you what, it's going to be impressive if we can make it to lap 50 the way that they're going right now. They are getting after it and everyone is scrambling to get into the best position that they can. Logan Helton staying committed to that outside lane. He and Rick Siebrands working very well to make that happen. Every once in a while a charge comes in from that inside lane, but it falls apart as everyone has moved up into that higher groove.
Yeah, Seth Gruber though going to get a great push by the 25 of Freeze. They're going to go 3 wide in the turn number 3. Contact with the 51 of Elliott. Everybody keeping a good job now. The 24 of Miller getting bounced around like a ping pong ball. He's up the racetrack. There goes Freeze. He is around. Yellow flag is out. And what could end stage number 1 or 2.
So Kevin Freeze in the 25 has gone around. Josh Milam falling back even further.
Tyler Miller heart rate.
I'm sorry, I said Kevin Freeze. I meant Tyler Miller.
That's what I was thinking, but I just noticed he went from being in that all the way to the back. It looks like deBorja might have picked up the win here in state. Well, unofficially, we'll see if we go back green flag racing. I don't think we will though.
No, we will not go back racing, and that will be the end of the stage. So let's take a look here. See if we can figure out what happened to the driver in the 24. Tyler Miller already gone around there. Three-wide racing. Andy Brigante comes up, tags the 24. Daniel Holloway gets pinched off into the wall. Gruber gets involved. The 24 waits for the track to clear, but here they all come on the pit road, Al, and looks like just heavy damage for the 24. But stage 2 and stage 1 starting to look like a sweep for Peter deBorja.
That it is, and it's that's gonna definitely help out his championship hopes. 20 bonus points here tonight.
All right, well, I got to talk to him the first go-rounds. How about you talk to him the second?
All right, sounds like a plan. Peter deBorja, this is Al Smith up in the turn 3 booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Al.
Hey, we're picking up the win. What a clean sweep here tonight in the opening stages. Those 20 bonus points for picking up those wins. How much does that mean to you and your race team?
Well, if anyone was in Vegas and put any money on that, they probably won like $1 billion, because that was definitely not something that I had in the cards for tonight, or so I thought. And as per usual, just right place, right time. Definitely wasn't the fastest car or in the fastest spot, but was just a nose ahead when the yellow came out.
Yeah, the racing looking very intense out there. How difficult is the conditions out there? We see the cars moving around a little bit more than what we have seen in a few races past here at the Bumpy Daytona. Is it a little bit slick out there?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Pit entry is especially slick. My braking point's a little bit earlier than it's been at any of the other times I've been here all season. But I can't imagine what it's been like in traffic for some of these guys, too. I've been lucky enough to be mostly near the front, or, you know, exactly at the front. And haven't had to worry too much about pushing somebody or worried about someone on my bumper at the same time or pinching too much. So I'm having this much trouble up here. I can't imagine what's going on behind me.
How important is it to have the clean air here at Daytona? We see you're able to stay out front. Here's the lights go out on the pace car. And how important is it to stay up front? And how do you plan on maybe staying up there for these next 50 laps?
It's not. I mean, if I was trying to win the race right now, I think I would probably go to the back and just try and make sure I save a car and be there at the end. But in points racing, I'm really worried about the 63. I'm really worried about the 7. Those are guys that are near me. I kind of want to make sure that I'm third in points still. That way, if 51 or 24 or 95, get it together and they win the race, that I'm not knocked out. So after the first couple stages here, my motivations have changed a little bit. I'm just going to kind of scoreboard watch a little and keep an eye on where those guys are. Obviously, the 4 got a lot of stage points too, so I don't think I quite caught up to him. But if I can stay clear of the 7 and the 63 the rest of the way, I should be okay.
Yeah, unofficially by my quick map that KR has taught me, I have you sitting third, 3 points behind the 4, and 12 points ahead of the 63.
That's a good spot to be. I just gotta make sure I don't fall too far behind, and Logan's a threat to win whenever. He can win, that's fine. And actually, if he wins, that's not as scary, because that means the car behind him would have the fast one. I'll just play it safe and bring home like a top 15 out of this thing, and that should be enough to get it done.
All right, well, pace car getting ready to come in the pit road. Good luck here in the last stage. Hopefully we'll be talking to you post-race.
Thanks so much, Al.
There you go. That's the 40 of Peter deBorja. Oh, I heard it. The strategy has changed a little bit, KR, after those stage wins.
Yeah, and we talked about how important it was to get those bonus points as the green flag comes back out. Our third and final stage, our longest stint to go in this race, and here we go. A lot of cars came down to top off their fuel tanks, and that is why that inside line is so long. Everyone know, onto the throttle and into turns 1 and 2.
Then they get up there, Seth Gruber up on the outside of Peter deBorja. They work off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. They are getting up to speed here. As it is Gruber with a great shove, and just like that, right down to the inside lane. And Logan Helton will move to the top car with the 4 of Siebrands. The 40, the 4, and the 63, all currently right now are inside the top 4 in points, KR, based on those last 2 stages. Right now, they want to be the ones that win. If you are Milam, Miller, Maier, or Elliott, you need a win here. Or some trouble for these drivers that scored a lot of points in these opening stages.
Riding on board with the 95 of Jim Maier, and he is back in 21st spot. And he's got some work cut out for him, as you talked about, Al. Maybe getting that win here is what he's going to have to do. And right now, being in 21st, for sure will not get it done for him.
No, he is, let's see here, about 38 points behind making that cutoff, or make it 28 points behind making the in-on points. So with only 25 drivers on the race here, one driver already out of the race. Not sure there's enough points. So maybe one of those must-win situations for yet another championship hopeful. As we've seen these cars dance around it, and we heard deBorja say it is a handful out there tonight with the slick conditions. Anything is capable of happening, and that's why we don't run just one lap, we run them all.
We do run them all in the 62 of Les Levy. In behind the 04 Mark Mann, his teammate, the 46 of David Overstreet, to his inside. Another championship contender right there. That's the 51 of TJ Elliott. And man, I'll tell you, he's always a threat to win in a very sneaky way. That 51 can't ever be counted out as long as he is on the lead lap and still out there chugging around.
Yeah, Elliott, we've seen him have a lot of speed this season. Don't be a sleeper on that Monster Energy number 51. Might be outside the top 10, but he has been inside the top 10 all race long. And with a little bit of damage on it, looks like the front end there, I have to assume that backup car is there if he still needs it.
One car that is really anxious to get into the backup car, that's the 23 Sebastian Marin. He's been riding around and not using that fast repair. So good news for him. He does have that win, but man, he is all by himself and he's just out there logging laps at this point.
Now, if you are the 23, what is, you're down 2 laps, you have that win. What's the motivation to say, what can you learn this week that can help you for next week, especially with a torn up car?
Honestly, you're not going to learn anything with a torn up race car. You'll never learn anything in a torn up race car. But what the plan could be for that 23 is ride around, wait until the final pit stop, burn that fast repair, and try and be in position to help one of your teammates get the win here tonight.
I like your thinking.
That's about all you can do in those situations. But yeah, very tough to learn anything with a torn up race car. Other than you hate torn up race cars, you'll learn that real quick.
Yes, I'm sure Sebastian not having any fun out there right now running around with a torn up number 23. Up front though, heavy battles with the 63 of Helton is Seth Ruger. Been fast all night long. His brother Patrick is down 1 lap the race leaders as JD Crow is back on pit road. All these drivers trying to vie it out. We might see a little bit not as aggressive racing, I would say, in these opening laps. It's the final stage, a lot of laps left to go to make it 43 more laps here to go. Before, as I say that, here comes Elliott. He'll switch to the outside of the 04 of Mark Mann. They will go 3 wide here in the turns 3 and 4. That normally does not end very well.
Well, they're sticking it out 3 wide. The 51 staying committed. Nobody going up there to help him as they flash across the start-finish line. Logan Helton in the 63. Going to get at least 1 bonus point, more than likely for leading the most laps, because that 63 has never been far from the lead.
He's been one of the drivers that has been aggressive to stay up front. Ham and the 40 of deBorja, the 02 of Hoover House Racing of Seth Gruber has been very aggressive as well. He got a little bit of help, though, from the 01 of Patrick Gruber. Patrick trying to get back on the lead lap. That car showing some speed in that Toyota Supra. They snake it out here through to Tri-Oval. These cars really dancing around here tonight on the Daytona International Speedway.
All right, the 0-2 battling for this race lead with the 63 of Logan Helton. Check in on the driver of the 3, that is Alex Green. He has once again found himself worked all the way back to the front. He has had kind of an up and down day, fallen back a few times. He started at the back, worked his way forward, has fallen back, and now finds himself once again on the front end of this field. And so he's looking to try and finish this one out very strong.
That he is now Zach Workman switches lanes right behind the 40 of deBorja. It doesn't take long for these tires to wear out. These cars start moving around about 5-6 laps into a run. The air pressures get up there. They start to get a little bit worn out, as now your race leader going to have to get around the number 2 of JD Crow. Throw your last car on the lead lap. They should catch him here in the tri-oval. Seeing a lot of wide exits off of turn number 4, KR. Is that just trying to keep your momentum, or is the car just that evil with some of these drivers close up in drafting?
I think the 63 of Logan Helton is enjoying being on the high side. He is enjoying using that momentum. And here the 0-2 looked like he was going to try and collect the 2, but maybe had a bit more momentum than he thought. And the 2 of JD Crow had to chase that car down in the infield, but got it back. And Logan Helton and Rick Siebrands both dived down to the bottom for that. But you mentioned coming off the corner high. I think all he's doing is just, you're already in the upper lane. You're not really trying to defend a car from sneaking in on your inside. So yeah, let that car drift out a little bit, gain that extra bit of momentum or down the straightaway.
That's what I was thinking there. These cars and these drivers. Now we see the Gruber brothers nose to tail. The 0-1 down 1 lap to the race leader. If he can get up there the hard way and get the wave around, or he wouldn't need the wave around, he'd be the last car on the lead lap. Very hard to do, as I say that. A little paint swap between the 63 of Helton and the 3 of Alex Green. Green working the outside of the speedway. He's going to be your new race leader. And Advanced Auto Parts number 3, and he quickly gets down to the inside lane.
Yeah, Alex dove right down to the inside. He wasted no time on making that decision. Now he is out in front of the 63 and the 4, and another car. That is the 23 of Sebastian Marin, going to go a lap down, or I should say another lap down. Now the 0-1 and the 0-2 are hooked up, but are not on the same lap. Well, I guess technically they're on the same lap, but one's in a bit worse condition.
Yeah, the 0-1 on the very tail end of the lap. The 3 of Green that time a little bit sideways. Off at turn number 4, and just like that, the 0-2 of Gruber getting a good push from the 25 of Freeze. Will put that 0-1 back to 1 lap to the arrears. He will drop down in front, so Yoshi leading over Mario down on the inside lane. Here comes Freeze and Fritz. Can you say that 10 times fast?
No.
No, I either. I was going to see if you would do it. I think the fans would. Hey, we're almost in the double digits. We got 15 viewers right now. Let's get that thumbs up here. Let these drivers know you appreciate the efforts that they are out there sweating it, swatting bees. Let's get that to double digits on the thumbs up. How about that, KR?
Sure. I think that's a good goal to have, Al.
I think it's only one. Someone out there.
We only have 1 thumbs up?
No, we have 9. We need 1 more to get double digit.
Oh, jeez.
I like double digit thumbs up. So don't the drivers.
What if we call YouTube and say, here, just just give us automatic thumbs up. Use the Twitter bot accounts. There we go.
Oh, there we go. We got 10. Thank you. Not sure who it was, but someone gave us 10. I like it. Someone's driving. Oh, hang on to it. Siebrands had to jump on the binders out of the screen. Down there, Josh Milam is sideways. Somehow holds on to it. I tell you, Josh Milam, his night has been... Oh, there goes the 51 of Elliott. Trouble in the tri-oval. Travis Elliott goes for a spin. More cars coming involved. One car late. Not sure who it was.
Jimmy Reynolds in the 17 getting involved.
Maybe that's what it was. A black and blue car that I saw. Could not see through the smoke.
So Travis Elliott and Andy Brigante make contact. And it looked like Dustin Barber in the 6 was blocking the view of the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds. Let's take a look and see here. We go on board with the 17. Now the spin is happening and you can tell Jimmy is slowing down. And then all of a sudden it's just not really sure where to go because of how that number 51 was spinning.
Yeah, and I mean, let's be honest here. At any moment, the 51 could have gone either direction, and well, just a tough break for that number 17 of Reynolds. Not of his doing. This is how fast it happens here at the super speedways.
So your race leader is the 02 of Seth Gruber. Patrick Gruber, unfortunately, was just behind him.
But he should get the waiver.
Should get the waiver on him. But once again, if you have even a 0x and that caution flag flies,
True.
it negates your waiver round.
That is very true. And that's not by the race officials. That's policed from iRacing. So we do have to mention Sean McCara up there in mission control. He does not decide who gets the free pass or not, KR. Just so you know. I just want to make it clear.
It looks like that 01 is going to get the free pass as the rest of the field comes down onto pit road. That'll be a good little break for everyone. This does put us at one more stop to make it to the end of this race.
That it does. No one can really make it from here. They have to stop.
That they do. And with that being said, we are going to take a quick break. No one go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
racing. You wanted the best. You got him 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt. The World of Outlaws.
Green flag is back out once again as the 02 of Seth Gruber gets on the throttle with Les Levy in the 62 restarting to his outside, but that 02 wasting no time moving up to the top lane. And Al, how does my mic sound funny once again, Smith? We find ourselves in the closing stages of this race, just one more pit stop to go to settle this one out.
Yeah, it is. That's going to be the money stop here coming up in just about 15 or so laps. I would assume everybody would try to make it as far as they can to get a little bit of insurance in case we go into that OP overtime here tonight. But right now, it's the new faces up front with Seth Gruber being up there, Levy down there as well as Logan Helton working there in spot number 2, so I guess not so much new faces up there, but we got Les Levy working the inside. He's got Overstreet and Prince behind him. Everybody's starting to get back into the groove of racing after taking a quick breath. And that's got to be refreshing. You sit there and you're so tense for so long in these race cars. If you weren't involved in the accident, you kind of get to relax, maybe let your, stretch out your hands a little bit, knowing that the end here is coming very soon as we close in on 25 laps to go.
To the 02 down on the bottom lane. We do have 24 cars on the lead lap. The 01 of Patrick Gruber was able to get that free pass. He was back on the lead lap once again. So with that being said, Al, because it's been a while since we've seen those drivers from Gruber House Racing, and as I like to do from time to time, well, this ice cold latte is for Gruber House Racing.
Ooh. Was that ice cold Levy?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. That's Levy doing a good job down on the inside. He's behind Gruber. An outside line being led by the 63 of Logan Helton. He's getting pushed from the 3 of Alex Green, Kevin Freese. Remember we saw him in that first yellow flag. He's rebounded nicely inside the top 10 and don't look too far behind them. That 7 of Josh Milam right there as well. And Josh, knowing that the first 2 stages did not go very well in his favor, wonder if he knows or thinks, I guess it's not really known, wonder if he thinks it's a must-win situation right now to move into the round of 4.
Side by side through the tri-oval. The 46 of David Overstreet finds himself in the mix right here. And Checkered Flag Motorsports starting to look well represented at the front of the field with Les Levy in the 62 and the 46 right there as well. And those two are the regular Checkered Flag Motorsports drivers. Jeremy Funk in the 97 has joined them at least as a satellite teammate for this race. David Booth not out here tonight, so Checkered Flag Motorsports, a couple of drivers down.
Big trouble at multiple chase contenders involved. The 7 of Josh Milam was involved, I believe. I saw the 40 of Peter deBorja involved as he comes to a stop. Doesn't like too much damage, but Alex Green involved, multiple drivers involved here in our 5th yellow flag of the evening. Sorry, Cam.
I think the 3 of Alex Green blew up. Let's take a look and see. Puff of smoke out of that race car and a loud clatter. And that is a blown engine out of the 3 of Alex Green.
Yeah, he's then the 25, nowhere to go. That clips the 7, the 24 of Miller. Talk about a dismal chase he's had. Always getting caught up, made it to the round of 8. Heavy front end damage to the disturbed number 24.
Yeah, he is just having a very rough go at it here tonight. Andy Brigante got a little piece of this as well. Daniel Holloway was able to get through it.
It was like Peter deBorja as well. He was able to slow up to avoid it. Zach Workman involved. Workman made heavy contact with the 7 of Milam.
So on to pit road comes the field once again, and we are still on the outside looking in from being able to make it the rest of the way. All of our lead lap drivers are on pit road. The 0-2 going to win the race off of pit road. Logan Helton second, Wes Levy, Zach Fritch, and David Overstreet follow suit.
A lot of drivers down on pit road fixing some damage right now. Seven car, the crew working on the front end of that one. KR, Josh Milam, the championship hopeful. Heavy right front damage and left front damage on that Fuel Sim Racing number 7.
And he is going to have quite a bit of time spent on pit road as he waits for that car to get hammered back into some semblance of a race car.
A tough break. I mean, we don't know. Alex Green was not overly aggressive on the pushing, so something gone awry on that number 3. The cause a big one here in turns 3 and 4. Such a helpless feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, especially when that engine lets go. It can happen a lot quicker than you think, anticipate, all that stuff. I was participating in the iRacing Daytona 500 and just was pushing the car in front of me. There was a group, we were in a group of 3 and not paying any attention. We were catching up to the leaders. We were hauling it and just popped the engine.
Not good. Sebastian Marin, JD Crow up on the front of this one, I believe. They'll get the wave around. I'm not sure what's going on right now. Lights are out on top of the pace car.
The lights have gone out, and so we are going to get back to green flag racing. Sebastian Marin should have been waved around the pace car.
That's what I thought. I thought JD Crow would have been there as well. He did not come down pit road. So interesting.
All right, well, here we go. 2 cars in the mix. The 2 of JD Crow, the 23 of Sebastian Marin, Seth Gruber, your race leader. Logan Helton on his outside. Here we go. That 23 earned his fast repair. Now has a fresh nose on the front end of that.
Yeah, gotta wonder, he waited a little bit too long. Alex Green is pulled free behind the wall. His night is done. A tough break for the Advanced Auto Parts number 3. Gruber down to the inside. He's got some drafting help, and those cars in front of him are no slouches. Those cars have some speed. They've been repaired. JD Crow trying to stay on the lead lap as they work down here. The 2 is on the tail end of the lead lap. 23 down multiple laps. We have 21 laps to go.
That we do, and the 23 and the 2. Now see the 0-2 make the move to the outside. Logan Helton in the 63. Wants to have a good run and a solid finish. He has probably led the most laps here tonight. We don't have an official lap counter to say for sure, but that 63 has never really been far from the race lead, and he is about the only driver that is consistently inside the top 5.
Yeah, he's been up there pretty much all night long, doing what he needs to do to put himself in a position to race for a championship in 1 week's time. As they work down here through the tri-oval, the 0-2 of Gruber showing the way. Right now, if you're Helton, are you content riding there? You want to get by them. You know you've scored 18 points so far here tonight in as far as chase point or stage points have gone. I guess my question is, KR, if you're racing out there, are you aware of the point situation as the race is going on? Are you thinking about that, or is your only goal to win? Obviously, a win secures your way into that championship 4. But do you have an idea behind the wheel how the points are stacking up throughout the race?
Yeah, you do come into a race knowing kind of where you need to be, what you're after, and then you pick 1 or 2 drivers that you think are going to be the ones that have the best shot. You really want to make sure that you are ahead of them. And then you have like your 3rd and 4th, 5th driver who, if something happens to the other ones, they're the other ones that you keep track of. So you just kind of start running down a list, and you have to keep moving. You have to keep those elbows up, the hands on the wheel, and you just can't give up either. When something doesn't go right, just don't give up.
One driver jumping, a few drivers coming down pit road now. We hit that window that you can make it on fuel. Jim Maier, Holloway, Siebrands, and Mann. So 2 of your championship hopefuls down on pit road. You like the short pit call. As soon as the window opens, you like it. Able to stay there.
Man, I'll tell you what, you gotta hit pit road almost as soon as you can, but I am a big believer in making sure that you have enough for a green-white checker.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to make it there. Obviously, you save some fuel underneath yellow flag. As now, Logan Helton jumps to the race lead in front of Seth Gruber. Dak Fritz working the outside in that number 12 automobile. Another taker coming to pit road. Sean Stevens in that 27 comes down pit road. There was 17 laps to go. I think if I'm behind the wheel, working with my crew chief and my teammates, I think the magic lap is between 15 and 14 laps to go. I feel like that's a good time to come down. It leaves you with a little bit of fuel left for a 1 attempt at a green-white checker. Or do you want to go a little bit further than that? We do have the 2 attempts.
Yeah, there are 2 attempts at a green-white checker. But yeah, you still have to hit pit road. Here comes the 63 of Logan Helton to prove that point. A couple others. That is the 24 Tyler Miller, Zach Fritch, DJ Elliott, David Overstreet, Les Levy, and Andy Brigante all on the pit road. Kevin Freese in the 25 Now your race leader, Sebastian Marin, and the two of JD Crow still in front of our leaders. And JD Crow, last car on the lead lap, just trying to hopefully stay that way until caution comes out.
Yeah, trying to stay up front there to be the last car on the lead lap. He's got some good pushing help though. In order to stay there, as Kevin Freese now will make the hard left-hand turn. The rest of the field coming down pit road. And really aggressive is Groover House Racing, and I think they made it. That was probably one of the most aggressive takes to pit road we've seen in a few races.
This will complete the pit stop cycle. Logan Helton in the 63, leading the field of drivers who have made a pit stop. And he has gotten out way out there by himself. And they are going to motor right on by. Here comes the 95 of Jim Maier, the 4 of Rick Siebrands, and the 04 of Mark Mann. Teammates picking up Logan Helton very nicely.
Yeah, with a nice exchange, a little bit of ground was given up to the drivers behind them. As this is where it gets a little bit dicey, as you got cars coming off of pit road getting back up to speed. How will they all filter in? Oh, the Fuel Sim Racing team members, the 7 of Milam and the 6 of Barber, made a little bit of contact. They're able to hold on to it.
David Overstreet in the 46, big lift coming off of turn 4 as he and Peter deBorja almost got into each other. So the 7 and the 6 working together. And right now your race leader is the 95 of Jim Maier. And Alliance Motorsports finds itself inside the top 4.
Yeah, remember we questioned whether or not coming down as soon as the fuel window is going to pay off. Right now, it looks to be paying off as long as this stays green for another 14 less laps.
All right, so now the field is jumbled. No more of this front pack. Really coming on strong, the 95, the 04, the 63, and the 4, all finding themselves trying to hold on to this lead. And what way will everyone go? Because, man, 13 laps to go, Al. This is anybody's race still.
Yeah, I was just looking at my notes here. If Logan Helton wins, Jim Maier gets eliminated. If Jim Maier wins, Logan Helton gets eliminated. Depending on how all the other points play out, but it is very tight here. So if you're part of that team, what's the communication like that? That's either way, one of your drivers that are in the championship hunt will no longer be after this race.
Yeah, not all 4 of them are going to be able to make it in. Mark Mann was already eliminated from that. But Rick Siebrands, Jim Maier, and Logan Helton, they are all fighting to try and be in the top 4. Sebastian Marin with that win last week finds himself in that pristine position of not having to worry about it.
Good place to be, eh?
Oh yeah, especially when he's been on that pit road multiple times and had all that heavy damage.
Yeah, right now he is happy he picked up the win 1 week ago. It's the field will flash by him as they will cross the line in the trial vote for 10 laps to go here tonight in what has been a very exciting race here tonight. As I was holding my breath. I saw the 0-2 way up the racetrack, and that's never ends well usually.
So Alliance Motorsports doing what they can to keep the pack behind them. The 51, or Travis Elliott doing what he can to try and get by Alliance Motorsports. 10 laps to go. Drivers last on pit road on lap 82, or I should say Alliance Motorsports on the pit road last lap 82. So they should be good to go to the scheduled distance, but now the 0-2. Seth Gruber making a move to the outside lane and going to get a little bit squirrely as the 25 of Kevin Frears comes and gets to his back bumper. The 3-wide racing for the moment. Here comes the 7 of Josh Milam, who spent quite a bit of time on pit road not too long ago. That race car doesn't look too pretty, but he is not giving up.
No, he has his teammate, the 6 of Barber, helping him now. Gruber working the outside. Here comes Kevin Frears as well. 3 wide with just 9 laps to go as they work down the backstretch here. 3 abreast, 2 rows deep, all behind the 95 of Maier. Maier trying to lock himself in the next week's championship race.
Oh my goodness, big stack up in the 51 is going to go around. And the caution flag is going to come out. Travis Elliott getting involved in a big one here. Let's back that up and take a look. And it starts with the 63 of Logan Helton slowing down. Tyler Miller, Travis Elliott, it looks like David Overstreet all getting a piece of it.
It looked like the 63 maybe clipped that apron, KR, on entry, or they were 3 wide, maybe a little bit of contact there. But a tough break for the 51 of Elliott, who had fought his way back inside the top 10.
And I think the 4 was just feeling the pressure on the outside door, and so was trying to give room. Flip the apron. And it ends up with the 51 going around. So the yellow flag is out once again, Al, after several great laps of racing here in this final stage, we've had a couple quick cautions, but we're inside at 10 laps to go. That means, well, really, there's no more give and take. It's all give. Wait, no, it's all take.
Or is it give and take?
Well, that's what it's been up until now. Now it's may the best man win.
That it will be. And you got teammates from Alliance Motorsports up on the front row. Then you have Seth Gruber and the number 4 of Rick Siebrands. Siebrands has to feel pretty safe at this point. Came in 2nd overall in the standings. Your highest non-winner since Sebastian Marin picked up the win 1 week ago. So now, it looks like Eric Laurie going to get the wave around. So he'll be back onto the lead lap. Alliance Motorsports has some bullets up at the front of this one. Have to think that the mission is to get either the 95 or the 63 to victory lane.
I would agree with that assessment there, Al, but guys, we're going to step away for a quick break. No one go anywhere. We'll be back to finish this one out.
With the Buttkicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Buttkicker, the future is feeling.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the pace car is about ready to pull in, and with 5 laps to go, the green flag is out. This race is starting to wind down, and the 95 of Jim Maier is surrounded by his teammates, but Jim Maier, Rick Siebrands, and Logan Helton all need a win to secure the deal.
Yeah, only one driver has that deal secured, and right now, the 95 of Maier's only hope to race for a championship next week is to go to victory lane, and Siebrands right there behind him, and Logan Helton. It's kind of a catch-22, if you will, KR. The 95 of Maier, he wins. That knocks out Logan Helton, who sits 4th in the standings after the stage 1 and 2 is, oh, hang on to it, Gruber. He was driving and grooving up underneath the 4 of Siebrands. Coming across the line, it'll be 4 laps to go, but as I was saying, if Maier wins, the 63 of Logan Helton will be helping the 4 and the 95 next week to win that championship.
All right, so here we go. 4 laps to go. Mark Mann in the 04, down on the inside lane. Mark Mann, not a championship contender, but with the Alliance Motorsports banner, and he has his 3 teammates who need a solid run here, if not a win. They are lined up in that outside lane. So right now, if you're Mark Mann, your job is to keep that inside lane behind you, and don't cause a caution, because you guys have this set up perfect to where it is all team orders. And in the back, there's trouble. JD Crow and Travis Elliott involved, and around goes the 2.
And just like that, they are going to find out. Now that we have had a few yellow flags, is there enough fuel saving measures to make it on this green-white checkered attempt? Remember, these race leaders were first on pit road back on lap 82, right when the pay window opened for the fuel stop. A tough break for JD Crow. How about that? His night just has not been good, to put it nicely.
No, he has had a rough go on this one. So we're looking here, the 2 of JD Crow, the 97 of Jeremy Funk, and it looks like the 51 sneaks to the outside, and JD Crow just did not know he was there, and he is going to get tossed and spun. And so that is going to bring this field back under caution, and we will go into the first attempt at a green-white checker.
What are you thinking, KR? You are the 95, the 4, 04, and the 63. Well, Logan Helton came down 2 laps after, so he might be a little bit better on the fuel window. But if you're these first 3 cars, how nervous are you?
Man, I'll tell you what, it was looking real good for Alliance Motorsports in the way that they were lined up. They still have a good shot at it, but they had everything going their way for that brief moment.
They did. Lights are still out in the pace car. Looks like Dan Holloway going to get the free pass, and he'll get back onto the lead lap.
All right, so catch your breath, I guess, Al, because this one is going to be interesting, to say the least.
It is gonna be a nail biter. That is, let's see, I believe the light should go out this time by. You see the 95 and the 4 down on pit are on the access road. They do that to keep the fuel in the pickup so it doesn't sputter. Yes, that is a thing.
Sputtering. Hate when it sputters.
Lights are out though, KR. Jimmy Maier gonna choose the inside lane. Rick Siebrands will be the outside. Mark Mann and Seth Groover making up row number 2. Then it'll be Logan Helton and Kevin Freese. Zach Fritsch, how about the nice rebound by the driver of the 24? Tyler Miller inside the top 10. Saw him get involved in a little bit of wreck. That front end has seen better days. It might be a little bit disturbed.
A little distorted.
But anything can happen, especially if your top drivers, well, they sputter a little bit. It will not be good for the remainder of the field.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
I'm not. Because I'm looking, Travis Elliott has a long way to go. And if I remember correctly, we once saw someone go from 1 lap down, and through the series of green-white checkers, they came from 1 lap down to finish 3rd.
Yes.
So Travis Elliott isn't out of this one just yet. Peter deBorja, he's got those bonus points from 2 stages, but he finds himself in 15th. But the green flag comes out, and Alliance Motorsports on the throttle once again. The 02 of Seth Gruber finding himself on the outside lane behind the 4.
Very aggressive lane change by the 24 of Miller. Miller down to the inside. Here they come off of turn number 2. Down the backstretch, it is still the 95 of Maier. Rick Siebrands is going to jump out to the race lead as they work down the backstretch. And the points could change if Peter deBorja does not get up towards the top 10 in this little run. He could be the driver on the outside looking in. Everybody 2 by 2 off of turn number 4. The white silk is in the air. Will we get there with it before a yellow flag happens?
Almost contact coming off of turn number 4, but here we go. White flag, final time around. The 95 of Jim Maier has the race lead. He has a 04 Mark Mann behind him. Mark Mann could just be trying to be an extra blocker here, as here comes the 62 of Les Levy. I've said it time and time again, Checkered Flag Motorsports is the ones to watch out for when they are not in playoff contention. And here is Les Levy poking his nose down on the inside, but his momentum got broke up, and the 95 and the 04 Mark Mann, oh, as Logan Helton is going to get turned. He is in trouble. Coming through 3 and 4, but up off the corner. Coming to the start-finish line, it is going to be the 95 of Jim Maier who picks up the win, and the 4 of Rick Siebrands in 3rd place with Mark Mann, the meat in that Alliance Motorsports sandwich.
Yeah, and I do believe that'll punch the ticket for at least those 2 drivers. We'll wait for an official word later this week on who will be the 4th and final drivers. It could be really close.
All right, let's take a quick look here at the troubles for Logan Helton. And the 63 fought through all of that, kept his foot in it, and came across the line in 11th place. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough, but it very well could be.
Yeah,
To
it's
put
going to be
him as the
very tight.
4th driver in our championship standings.
If you want a drama, we got it.
But I'll tell you, one of the guys who doesn't have to worry about it, that is the 95 of Jim Maier, as he makes his way onto the start-finish line for his post-race celebration, drops the clutch, lights the rear tires up, and he punches his ticket into the championship 4. That is the 95 as he burns it down. Congratulations, Jim Maier. So Al, let's kick off our post-race show, and let's fire it up and talk to our race winner, Jim Maier. Jim, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Doing good.
Apparently you won a race. I'm not sure if you are aware of that.
I'm aware. I'm happy and I'm sad at the same time because I think that knocks Logan out. And, obviously he helped me get here last year and finish it last year. So happy, but I wish I could have repaid the favor there and got him up there.
Well, I'll tell you what, we don't have the exact numbers, but it is incredibly close for Logan Helton. The good news is Tyler Miller, Josh Milam, they had some issues, Travis Elliott as well, so it's gonna be close.
Yeah, it's as usual, it's always competitive. Always comes down to a couple points. Every point matters here. We all know that. Good hard racing. Some bad luck early, and just tried to keep it clean for the end there.
Well, man, talk us through those last few laps as Alliance Motorsports seemed to lock down the top 4 and were able to do that even through a couple of cautions.
Obviously a great team effort, and Logan, even in that situation, Logan's there. He's asking how he can help, and I told him to go for it and do what he can to win. But yeah, just a great team effort, good communication when those guys went 3 wide for us to get up in the middle there and have the better lane there. The middle, I think, is the lane to go here. So.
All right, man. Well, nice job out here tonight. Once again, congratulations on the race win and making it into the championship 4. Final shout outs?
Of course, all the guys at Alliance. It was a team win tonight. Big win for our team here. Of course, you guys up in the booth putting the show, and all the guys behind the scenes putting these races on.
All right, man. Well, nice job and congratulations.
Thanks.
That is Jim Maier from Alliance Motorsports picking up the race win here tonight. But now let's move on to our second place finisher, and that is the driver of the 04. That is Mark Mann. And Al, I believe you've caught up with him.
I've caught up with the 04 on Mark Mann, and Mark, what a race this was. It looked very intense from our vantage point up here in the booth, but it had to have been wild there. You come down lap 82 a little bit right when the fuel window opens, knowing that 2 of your race team members are in a must-win situation. What's it the calls like at that point, knowing that we could go into overtime?
Full confusion, completely. You don't know what role to play there. I was just, if it was Logan or if it was Jim and they were in front of me, all I could do was push them the best I could, and hopefully one of them won. It's a bittersweet. I'm super happy that Jim's in the Final 4 again. He's the defending champion. I'm also super sad that Logan didn't make it because, he's been close to a championship so many seasons. So it's just a bittersweet moment. I'm happy for the team, and I'm also sad for the team. But, we got 2 bullets in the gun next week. We'll see if one of the Alliance Motorsports members can get it done.
Yeah, and we know how fast you guys are. We saw Logan up front all race long. So if it does work out where he does not make it into that championship 4, which it's leaning that way, you have, like you said, 2 bullets in the race, and you got 2 fast bullets, including yourself, that are there to help your teammates. going into next week, what's the mindset? Obviously, to get one of your teammates into that championship, in victory lane, win the race. But how difficult is that going to be racing along with the other 30 competitors out there you're against?
Oh, it's going to be 3 wide at Daytona night. I mean, we're going to be 3 wide all night long. It's going to have to catch a little bit of luck, and hopefully all 5 of us can be there at the end to help Rick or Jim win this. Logan's a great teammate, and Daniel Holloway is an awesome teammate as well. So, we're going to have to position ourselves late, because that's more of a track position track at the end. And this kind of is too. We always kind of get a green flag run here. And we positioned ourselves coming out of those pits, and, we couldn't ask for anything better except for all 3 of them getting in. So, I'm looking forward to next week. I just want to see Alliance Motorsports bring home another championship.
Well, we're going to have to wait 1 week's time. We'll see who is that champion. As you said, hopefully your teammates there. And speaking of your teammates, I'm sure you have plenty of drivers and sponsors and fans out there that you'd like to thank for your podium here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks to Alliance, all my teammates. I couldn't imagine a better team out here. I love Monday nights, even though I haven't had good success and deep runs in the playoffs here on Mondays. I've enjoyed every minute of it, though. Thanks to all the guys who run OP, all the admins. They do a phenomenal job, and I hope to see this league go on for, years to come. And thanks to all the fans and friends watching out, especially Mara and her family. And thank you to Turn 3 for hosting, putting on that memorial race for Bill Delaney. Bill was a great guy. And thank you for honoring him, and all the fans and all the drivers that honored Bill. It was much appreciated. So, yeah, that's basically it. It's a bittersweet moment. I'm going to go to bed tonight because there was no pressure on me to win. So it was fun. And I enjoyed you guys' broadcast this season. I thought it was phenomenal. Thank you.
Well, thank you. That is Mark Mann with the kind words there, KR. Must be talking about you as he will come home in that number 2 position. And I believe you've caught up with our 3rd place finisher and championship 4 headed into next week with the number 4 of Rick Siebrands.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was hard to catch up to him because he has put his car in between some tire barriers to try and hide. But let's get this word in with Rick Siebrands. And Rick, first of all, that 4 machine looks like it's in a compromising position.
Well, we figured maybe this will be the safest spot on the track, man. Wow, what a crazy race, man! This Alliance Motorsports Yeti Camaro, we picked. We had a pretty good night out there. We got some good stage points tonight, and kind of came out here and did what we had to do to try and get into that Final 4. I think the points are going to shake out in our favor here. I feel horrible for Logan, man. He had connection issues last week. Otherwise, he probably would have been up above me in the points, and he wouldn't have even had an issue. So that was, pretty crummy on his part there. He had a great night too, and gosh, that stinks for him. But congrats to Jim and Mark with the good run up there too. Just really, really fun race.
Well, Rick, that 4 finding its way to the front, man, I'll tell you, time and time again, that 4 is always up front. What's your secret?
There's no secrets in this deal. I mean, we've been fortunate the last couple of weeks here to be able to stay up front and get those stage points like we needed. And earlier in the season, we were trying to get stage points, but we was always getting wrecked on those stage laps. It seems like, I think we had a streak of like 4 or 5 races in a row where we wrecked out for a stage, didn't get points, and had to go to a backup car, before even the halfway mark. So we were struggling in the bonus points area. But yeah, we've turned that around a little bit. Been fortunate here, especially this round of 8, to get those stage points. But yeah, really cool to hopefully be going on here and racing for a championship, being a part of the Final 4. It's a huge deal over here, and it's definitely nothing to take for granted. That's for sure.
Well, man, nice job on a podium finish. and I believe making it into the championship 4. Goals for next week.
Well, I was just telling the guys, we haven't gotten a win yet this season, and I'd really like to get a win. So maybe we're just saving the best for last year, and we're just going to go out and get our win the last race of the season and kind of clinch it like that. That'd be pretty cool to do. But yeah, what a battle it's going to be. If we did make it in, I'm not sure how the points are going to shake out. But I mean, there's so many good drivers. There's going to be so many different agendas next week. You know, you got the championship 4 that are going to be racing for a championship. You got other guys that are going to be teammates out there helping those championship 4 guys, and then you got other guys that are just going to be out there trying to salvage their season and steal a win. So it's going to be a really crazy race next week. But definitely something I'm looking forward to, man. It's this is why we do it, and it's really cool to be a part of that.
Well, man, nice job once again, and we look forward to talking to you next week. But one last time, final shout outs, thank yous you'd like to give.
Real quick, thanks to all the fans at home watching, you guys for bringing the show to the fans. Hopefully they enjoyed that, man. Those cars were not stable, bouncing around, running that high line, man. That was fun. We were, out of control for a majority of that race, and that's what it's all about. That was cool. Again, congrats to Jim. Mark, great run tonight. And, Logan and Daniel. Yeah, just great night for Lights Motorsports all around.
All right. Well, nice job, Rick. And like I said, look forward to seeing you next week.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Well, there you have it, Al. Man, a wild one to wrap up and settle out who our championship 4 are going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild night of racing. You won't want to miss it. Tune on in next Monday night. I almost said Thursday for some reason, KR. I'm all over the place tonight. Just like
discombobulated.
the races. Yeah. What'd you give me in my drink?
I'm not telling you.
Oh, man.
Just go to sleep. All right, before you pass out from the drink, let's get through our race results. Jim Maier wins the race, punches his ticket into the championship 4. He will join Rick Siebrands, Sebastian Marin, and I'm not really sure who the 4th one is going to be. So Peter deBorja would be my guess. And Logan Helton missing out by just a few. But that being said, Seth Gruber, Les Levy, round out your top 5.
6th spot went to Kevin Free. Sean Stevens was 7th. Andy Briganti 8th. Peter deBorja comes home 9th. And how about Gabe Butler? Didn't mention him all night long with a top 10.
11th place goes to Logan Helton. Dustin Barber 12th. 13th, Travis Elliott. Zach Workman 14th. 15th, Daniel Holloway. 16th, Zach Fritsch. 17th, Jimmy Reynolds. Eric Laurie 18th. 19th place going to go to Jeremy Funk. Tyler Miller 20th. Al, I did half your work for you there.
You did. I was wondering what was going on there. Patrick Groover was 21st. Josh Milam 22nd. JD Crow 23rd. Sebastian Marin, David Overstreet rounding out your top 25. Ellis Green, Ernie Williams Jr., and Bob Lacavera all out early here tonight in Daytona. Next week, KR, it is the season finale. We will crown an OP Monday Night Premier Series champion underneath the lights right here at Daytona.
That we will, and I'll tell you what, Al, you do such a great job at it. Why don't you go ahead and sign us the rest of the way off?
All right. I guess that means it's time to go, folks. Well, we thank you for tuning on in here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Head on over to the Facebook and give us a like if you haven't done so already. Hit that subscribe button. But until next Monday night, we will see you in Turn 3. Have a good night, everybody. For KR, I'm Al. And, KR, that's it. We're out of here. Turn 3 is where we're headed. We'll see you there.